Welcome to the Office of Research and Graduate Studies Awards video. I'm Craig McLauchlan, the Associate Vice President for Research and Graduate Studies at Illinois State University. I am pleased to welcome you to this event. This is our second time in a row of gathering virtually to celebrate the excellent work in research, scholarship, and creative activity being done on our campus. Thank you for joining us. Dr. Larry Dietz will retire as Illinois State University's 19th president on June 30th, 2021, capping a 50-year career in higher education. Serving Illinois State for 10 years, the last 7 as president, President Dietz will leave a legacy of achievement and excellence. Among numerous accomplishments during his tenure, the university started a unique cybersecurity major, opened a Center for Civic Engagement, initiated the revitalization of the Bone Student Center, the facility most utilized by local residents, and completed Redbirds Rising, a $180 million fundraising campaign to secure a future of scholarship, leadership, and innovation at Illinois State. His vision has led to a higher level of diversity and strengthened the spirit of inclusiveness on campus. Most recently, he has guided the university through the world's worst health crisis in memory. Dr. Dietz came to Illinois State University in June 2011 as Vice President for Student Affairs and tenured Associate Professor in the Department of Educational Administration and Foundations. He and his spouse Marlene have volunteered their time on a variety of local boards and committees, including Baby Fold Mentoring, the Boys and Girls Club, Red Cross, Children's Discovery Museum, and the March of Dimes. After retirement, Larry and Marlene plan to remain in the Twin Cities. Please welcome the 19th President of Illinois State University, Dr. Larry Dietz.
Thank you for that kind introduction, Craig. It is a pleasure to be with you today to recognize the great many research accomplishments of Illinois State's outstanding faculty, staff members, and students. Your talent and commitment to your discipline are on full display today, and I know the entire university community is proud of you, as I am. I know all of us wish we could gather with our honorees in person to offer handshakes and high fives. As the vaccine distribution continues and infection and positivity rates decline, it is looking more likely that the next celebration will occur in person. For Illinois State, in-person, online, and hybrid instruction will continue through the end of the semester. For staff members, work-from-home opportunities will remain in place through the end of the fiscal year before being reassessed. As a group, higher education is not currently included in the Illinois Department of Public Health's vaccine distribution plan. As the convener of the Presidents and Chancellors Group from Illinois' 12 public universities, I have worked with higher education leaders from across the state to advocate for colleges and universities to be included in earlier phases of the vaccine distribution plan. Still, there are categories of individuals who will qualify as Illinois moves through various phases of the plan. The state is currently prioritizing Phase 1A and 1B, which includes such on-campus groups as healthcare staff, first responders, individuals 65 and older, and K-12 educators. As mitigations have eased, meetings and events can be held for groups on campus as long as the meeting does not exceed 50 guests and follows the occupancy requirements for the space. And more good news, Milner Library has reopened to in-person visits. Access is currently limited, however, to ISU students, faculty, staff, and retirees. Normalcy is slow in coming, but indeed it is coming. When I think of research at ISU, I envision a faculty member and a graduate or even an undergraduate student working in close proximity to each other, creating and advancing knowledge. If that is the case for you this semester, I am sure that you are practicing physical distancing, the use of face coverings, cleaning, and all the protocols associated with in-person teaching and learning. If you are most comfortable with in-person instruction but are using a hybrid or online modality this semester, I join you in looking forward to the day, hopefully by the fall of 2021 semester, when our classrooms, laboratories, and studios take on a more normal look. While Illinois State may be known as a predominantly undergraduate education institution, research is a critical part of our mission, vision, and values as a university. Our graduate students ably assist faculty and mentor undergraduates, all while taking the lead on their own projects, presentations, and publications. As we finally reflect on our proud past and present, we look forward to a bright future for research at Illinois State University through the Illinois Innovation Network, our hub and incubator project, and our makerspace. All of these initiatives make Illinois State a leader in research and in our collaboration with the local community and other hub locations statewide. Again, congratulations to our award winners. Whether in person or virtually, you are the pride of Illinois State University, and I commend you for your intellect and your effort. Thank you, and go you Redbirds.
Thank you, President Dietz. Provost Aondover Tarhule became the Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost of Illinois State University on July 1st of 2020. His immediate prior administrative appointment was Vice Provost and Dean of the Graduate School at Binghamton University, State University of New York. Before that, he was Executive Associate Dean and Department Chair in the College of Atmospheric and Geographic Sciences at the University of Oklahoma. In these positions, he worked on creating new academic programs, increasing student enrollment, increasing diversity, faculty retention, shared governance, and international partnerships, and linkages, among other things. A broadly trained physical geographer, Dr. Tarhule has wide-ranging research interests in hydroclimatic variability, droughts, water resources scarcity, and climate information dissemination and use. He's an accomplished researcher with many publications in prestigious international journals, grants totaling over $5 million, and some editorships. His work has also led to his service on the committees of prominent national and international organizations. Please welcome Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost, Dr. Aondover Tarhule.
Thank you, Craig. Illinois State University has a long history of research, and our efforts have grown significantly in recent years. We recognize that teaching and research are synergistic and mutually reinforcing. Our research informs our teaching and vice versa. We bring the latest research discoveries and findings into the classroom to enrich the education of our students. We work side by side in collaboration and partnership with our students, graduate and undergraduate alike, in the co-production of new knowledge, as well as in the dissemination of that knowledge. There is considerable evidence to show that when students are engaged in these activities, they have an overall more authentic and more satisfying educational experience. Illinois State University recorded impressive accomplishments in the area of research over the past year, despite the pandemic. Launched in the fall of 2019, the new Office of Student Research is supporting, promoting, and celebrating the research and creative activity of our students. As part of its activities, this office made grant awards to students and also organized a student research competition. These students were supported in the summer of 2020 and during the 2020-2021 academic year. A new round of awards has been made for summer 2021. Research with our students continues. Our external grant applications and awards remain steady in 2021. Many special funding opportunities, owing to COVID, have been sought by the university and its researchers. Looking at the future, we fully expect to continue to invest and expand our research efforts in the coming years. During the retreat organized by the Division of Academic Affairs, a number of ideas developed and vetted by a broad cross-section of the university were shared for our future direction. Based on this, we plan to lead a university-wide effort to establish those new research directions and priorities, reducing the identified impediments that faculty face related to research, as well as work to improve our incentives and reward structures. We are examining ways to provide sustained support for all engaged in research and creative activities, and determine ways we can grow in our productivity and sponsored research. To support and strengthen our research infrastructure, we continue to streamline and refine our policies and procedures, both to make it easier for our faculty researchers and to meet changing regulations and compliance requirements. Our researchers at Illinois State University are nationally and internationally renowned. They are better than or the equal of their counterparts anywhere in the world. Our goal is to create an environment that encourages and supports all faculty who wish to engage in research to be the best they can be. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Tarhule. We've got a lot of hard work ahead of us, but I've enjoyed the efforts we've been making so far. Next, I'd like to introduce the Cross-Endowed Chair in the Scholarship of Teaching and Learning, Dr. Jen Friberg, to recognize our next awardee.
Thank you, Craig. The winner of the 2021 university-wide Chismar Ostrowski Award for the Scholarship of Teaching and Learning is Dr. Rebecca Darner. She currently serves as the Director for the Center for Mathematics, Science, and Technology and is an Associate Professor of Biology at Illinois State University. She's a remarkable scholar in areas central to teaching and learning, with a focus on ensuring STEM education is situated firmly in evidence that informs her teaching practices. In her words, the overarching goal of my scholarly research is to enable non-scientist members of the general public to inform their everyday decisions with scientific information. I pursue this goal by conducting research in two contexts: in general education science courses and during the preparation of pre-service science teachers. Without a doubt, Dr. Darner has made remarkable contributions to her discipline in SOTL, and we at ISU look forward to her future work as a SOTL scholar.
Thank you, Dr. Friberg, and congratulations, Dr. Darner. Our next presenter will be the Director of the Graduate School, Dr. Noelle Selkow, who will recognize our Graduate Student Award winners.
Thanks, Craig. 3-Minute Thesis is a research communication competition that challenges master's and PhD students to describe their research topic and its significance in just 3 minutes to a general audience. This past February, in a webinar format, 9 students presented their research after being selected as the top candidates from their respective colleges. Psychology master's student Amini Wise was the university winner with her presentation, The Impact of White Privilege Awareness on Microaggression Perception. Megan Donnelly, a psychology doctoral student, won second place for her presentation on Right-Wing Authoritarianism, Moral Disengagement and Victimization, the Demeaning Socio-Cognitive Attitudes of Bullies. People's Choice, voted on by attendees watching over Zoom, went to Jessica Barrick, a master's student in athletic training, whose project examined the relationship among concussion history, sleep quality, and anxiety and depression. The James L. Fisher Outstanding Thesis Competition is designed to provide recognition of outstanding master's theses. Each college holds its own competition and chooses a master's thesis to forward to the graduate school for review. The top thesis is chosen to represent ISU at the Midwestern Association of Graduate Schools Thesis Competition. The 2021 university winner was Jennifer Woodrum from Psychology. Here are a few remarks from her thesis chair, Dr. Jeffrey Kahn.
Thank you, Dr. Selkow. Jen Woodrum's thesis examined why perfectionists experience so much distress after an experience with failure. Jen first conducted a survey in which she found that perfectionism was related to distress, primarily because perfectionists engage in mental rumination. She then experimentally manipulated participants' experience of failure in the lab and found that perfectionism led to mental rumination, which further led to distress. But this was only when failure was less intense. Her research is the first to support a process model of perfectionism and emotion regulation based on an experimental study, and it has implications for the treatment of maladaptive perfectionism.
Runner-up was Jacob Steyan from the Department of Agriculture, with remarks from his thesis chair, Dr. Maria Berngen.
Thank you, Dr. Selkow. Jacob Steyan's research addressed the highly competitive Illinois farmland rental market. Because of his own experience in his family's multi-generational farming operation in central Illinois, Jacob recognized the challenges that cash rent leases present to both experienced farmers and beginning farmers alike, and he set out to identify what was driving the increased usage of this type of lease. His study makes a novel contribution to the agribusiness literature and his findings will inform future academic research as well as the work of professional farm managers who negotiate lease terms between landowners and farm operators. This summer, Jacob's study will be published in the Journal of the American Society of Farm Managers and Rural Appraisers.
Next, Dr. Christopher Mulligan will provide remarks for William Fatigante.
Thank you, Dr. Selkow. William's research involved the development and characterization of portable mass spectrometers for use in forensic chemistry and crime scene investigation. Of particular interest to this National Institute of Justice funded project was demonstrating the capability of collecting court-admissible evidentiary data when novice users were the primary operators. This work seeks to streamline forensic investigations by allowing evidence processing on site, reducing the burden on the public forensic laboratory system. The Department of Chemistry is proud of William's selection for this honor, as well as his current role in the mass spectrometry laboratory at Lurie Children's Hospital of Chicago.
Lastly, Dr. Catherine Ellison will provide remarks for Daniel Freeman from English, also a college winner.
Thank you, Dr. Selkow. Dan Freeman's research examined representations of teen disability in popular media that is consumed by young audiences. He critiques a stifling tradition of representation. Not only have disabled young readers and viewers been forced to see themselves only through the eyes of those who do not identify as disabled, they have also only seen themselves from the perspective of adults. What is groundbreaking about Dan's work is his attention to YA social media responses to those works and to the ways in which youth audiences have intervened, creating powerful, collective counter-narratives. Within a social justice framework, Dan gives voice to the transformative power of today's youth culture.
The Clarence W. Sorensen Distinguished Dissertation Award recognizes completed dissertations of the highest quality from the previous academic year. Dissertations are nominated by academic departments and schools for review by the graduate school. The 2021 winner was John Blakeman from Mennonite College of Nursing. Providing remarks is his dissertation chair, Dr. Wendy Woith.
Thank you, Dr. Selkow. Dr. John Blakeman used case study methodology to explore fatigue among women experiencing myocardial infarction. This was the first study to explore in depth women's fatigue prior to MI, even though fatigue is the most common symptom experienced by women in the weeks and months prior to MI. His work is important because women experiencing MI continue to be misdiagnosed at a higher rate than men and, therefore, have a greater likelihood of dying. Dr. Blakeman's work contributes to our knowledge of how symptoms among women differ from those experienced by men, potentially leading to earlier diagnosis and better management.
The work being done by our graduate students is highly commendable, and the commitment of our faculty to mentoring is to be applauded. Working alongside student coworkers in research was a personal highlight for me in my own career. It's wonderful to see the good works of these students recognized and shared more publicly in this way. I am pleased to now present the winners of our faculty awards. First are our initiative awards, recognizing faculty early in their careers. The winner of the Creative Activity Initiative Award is Nathania Rubin from the Wonsuk Kim School of Art. The winner of the Research Initiative Awards are Dr. Susana Calderon from the Mennonite College of Nursing, Dr. Ella Shaibaiwo from the Department of English, Dr. Uttam Mana from the Department of Physics, Dr. Wendwesin Siyuum from the Department of Geography, Geology, and the Environment, Dr. Ryan Pates from the School of Biological Sciences, Dr. Joseph Hilgard from the Department of Psychology, Dr. Courtney Hatton from the School of Teaching and Learning, Dr. Sirjan Saintgun from the Wonsuk Kim School of Art and the Program in Creative Technologies. Congratulations to all of our Initiative Award winners. Next come our Outstanding University Faculty Member Awards for creative activities and research. There are always so many great nominees for our faculty awards, and that makes these awards especially distinctive. The first winner of the Outstanding University Creative Activity Award is Dr. Ama Oforiwa Ideonum from the School of Music.
Well, my research involves quite a bit. I am an ethnomusicologist, and my primary focus is looking at music from a cultural perspective. And so as a professor in Black music, I've always been interested in how Black music was created, why it was created, and how it allowed the people who created them to survive. In order for me to really get a deeper understanding of the why, I decided to conduct research at former slave dungeons where, in my mind, the identities of Black peoples were formed. So what I did, I basically had someone shackle me, my neck, my wrists, and my ankle. And for 5 months, twice a week, I walked or dragged myself into the dungeons, and I sat in those spaces for 4 hours each time. And in these spaces, I was able to get a deeper understanding of what life might have been for them and how those experiences might have contributed to the formation of their identities, but most importantly, how those experiences informed the creation of the music, right? Once you conduct the research yourself, you own that information and you can speak about it from a personal perspective. And I think passion is so important in teaching, right? You cannot divorce yourself away from the content. You have to be part of what you're teaching. And so research allows me to really teach with passion, with an intention, right? But also with joy and pride, and to use that as important lessons for my students. So students benefit immensely from the research. You know, I've been doing this work for the past, as I mentioned, 12 years, 2008, and I'm getting this recognition. So I think it's amazing. It's a good feeling. And that is just going to inspire and encourage me to keep doing what I do, what I love to do.
Congratulations. Our second winner is Tyler Lotz from the Won-Suk Kim School of Art.
My abstract sculptures are collage-based. I start with clay pieces that are extruded and cast. And I then take all of those pieces and parts and collage them together into a larger whole. And these sculptures are wall-based sculptures. They're also pedestal-based sculptures, and they're dealing with ideas surrounding my longing for wilderness and experiences that I've had. I also have a line of tableware that I've been focusing on and off over the years, and I think of it as a co-equal branch of the research that I do. Something that's been happening a little bit more recently is I've been sharpening my own skills in the digital realm, learning to use CAD software in order to be able to use them in my own work, but also to be able to develop a new course that I've been developing at Illinois State. One of the things that happens constantly in my own studio, when I discover something new in the work that I'm making, I instantly think about wanting to share that with my students. And so even sometimes when I have a planned lesson, I will shift gears, even for just a short portion of that lesson. I'll shift gears to talk about something that I discovered in my own studio practice. And I think it's important for students to actually see that moment of discovery and know that that we don't always know everything, and that we have to keep learning, constantly learning, and keep developing things. So I think one of the ways that we do that is really through modeling our own behavior as artists, through showing students that, yeah, we maybe have built a reputation in our field because we work in the studio when we're not teaching or when we're not doing the other things that make us a whole human being. But we make art because we're passionate about it. We have something to say, and we want to have an outlet for that.
Congratulations. Our first winner of the Outstanding University Researcher Award is Dr. Laura Hansfield from the School of Teaching and Learning.
My most recent line of research has explored how teachers and students position themselves in the classroom. So really that's a way of getting at identity construction. We've known for a long time in the field of education that teaching is not just a technocratic process. And by that I mean it's not just about applying methods and measuring outcomes. It's a relational process. And we've also known in the field of literacy for a long time that reading comprehension is facilitated through careful use of language in the classroom. In a completely other distinct line of research, we know in the literacy field and in education that identities, students' academic and social identities, and teachers' professional identities are also mediated by language. One of the things I'm trying to do in my research is to bring these two lines of inquiry together, to really examine how through language as well as other semiotic modes, such as body movements, gesture, gaze, classroom materials, how when students are in the classroom and when they are engaged in comprehension instruction, that they're not just constructing meaning. At the very same time, they're constructing identities. And so are teachers. And so that's one way that I believe my research is innovative, and that's really exciting for me. And it's exciting for the teachers I collaborate with as well. You know, one of the reasons that I love ISU, specifically the College of Education, is that I would say that our faculty have a real connection to classroom practice. So when I'm conducting research, I'm spending a lot of time in classroom spaces, and I am engaging with teachers and students, and that includes our ISU students who are becoming teachers. Becoming a teacher is really an ongoing, lifelong career process. And so I take those insights and bring those insights directly from classroom spaces into my teaching on a regular basis here at ISU.
Congratulations. Our second winner is Dr. Aslahan Spalding from the Department of Agriculture.
My research is very diverse. I do research projects on a variety of topics. Only common theme is the survey research methodology. I collect primary data using online and mail surveys. And my topics vary from horses to sheep to fish to wind power to ethanol and farmer and student behavior. Some of my projects specifically focus on student learning and their personality traits, and that really helps me become a better teacher for students because I get to understand what their learning techniques or styles are, so I can customize my teaching methods based on those students' personalities. And also, I teach a strategic agribusiness sales course, and one of my studies specifically focused on farmers' perceptions of salespeople. So my findings from that research really helped me train my students become better salespeople when they graduate from ISU. Including students is one of my passion to get students hands-on experience in research is one of my highlights. Make sure that they understand how the methodology works, how data is analyzed, how do you write up something, and then how do you make implications out of data. I mean, data is there, but what does the data tell us? So we're a storyteller in a way with this data we collect. My research is very multidisciplinary, so everything I do has a lot of people. It's a really collaboration, so I couldn't achieve what I did without the help of a lot of people. And I had great mentors since I started ISU. I'm very grateful for their mentorship and leadership, and I really appreciate the support that I received from my department and our college as well. And I had really good role models in my life, and I hope that I will be a role model for the next generation of faculty and students. Since I started at ISU, every year we submit our annual report, and then in my cover letter, I always said that, I want to be the best teacher, best scholar, and a best service person. And receiving this award is actually one of my professional goals, and accomplishing that makes me really feel excited. And I think I always say that this is one of the items in my professional bucket list that I was able to check. So I'm really honored to receive this. I know a lot of people on campus deserve it, and receiving this is a real special moment for me.
Let's take a look at some of the awards and recognitions that have happened previously this year. Congratulations to these faculty award winners. Thank you all for joining us to celebrate our students and faculty and their accomplishments this past year. We have so much great work going on, and I'm glad we were able to celebrate in this way, albeit virtually. Congratulations again to all of our winners. I would also like to thank all of our presenters and those who made it happen behind the scenes, including Eric Berngen, Gina Hunter, Jody Zimmerman, Tracy Wittergren, Hugh Sullivan, and Andy Savage. Thanks again for watching. Hopefully, we'll be able to celebrate in person next year.